Okay, today President Biden announced that a record-breaking 21.3 million Americans have enrolled in health care coverage through the Affordable Care Act. It's another major milestone in his work to expand access to affordable health care and lower costs for families. Not only do more Americans have health care coverage than ever before, but thanks to the Inflation Reduction Act, which every single Republican in Congress voted against, this president has capped the cost of insulin to $35 for seniors, allowed Medicare to negotiate lower prescription drug prices for the first time ever, and has saved millions of Americans an average of $800 per month on their health care insurance. The American people have made it clear they don't want the Affordable Care Act weakened and or repealed. They want it strengthened and protected. President Biden will continue to fight to bring down health care costs and prescription drug costs as well. With that, we have the Admiral in the briefing room today who's going to give us a little bit of an update on travel to Africa and also an update on the latest on the Middle East. Okay, Admiral.
Afternoon, everybody. So, yeah, I do have a little bit of a grab. Yeah, good morning. I'm sorry. No, I wasn't paying attention, clearly. I do have a little bit of a grab bag of stuff to get through, and I'll promise I'll try to do as quickly as I can. Yesterday, as I think you're all aware, in direct response to a series of escalatory attacks against U.S. and coalition personnel in Iraq and Syria, including, of course, at Al-Assad Air Base over the weekend, the United States military conducted strikes on facilities that were used by the Iran-backed Kataib Hezbollah hit militia group, as well as other affiliated groups in Iraq. Initial reports that we're getting indicate that we had effective results on all three targets. 2 headquarters buildings and an intelligence facility were destroyed. I want to emphasize that these actions were taken in self-defense following, of course, the attack on our forces in Iraq, and certainly consistent with international and domestic law. As the President has said, we're not going to hesitate to take necessary action to protect our troops and our facilities, and we'll stay vigilant going forward, of course. Separately, I'm also sure that you saw yesterday a joint statement from 24 countries expressing support for the action that the United States and our United Kingdom Armed Forces, with support from Australia, Bahrain, Canada, Netherlands, took against the Houthis on Monday. I think it's notable that more and more countries now wanted to show that they condemn Houthis' indiscriminate and unlawful attacks on international commerce, and that they support the actions that we and our partners are taking. Now, as you may have seen, several cabinet and senior administration leaders are engaging with countries across the African continent this week, building on our commitment to accelerate U.S.-Africa partnership opportunities following the Africa Leaders Summit last year. And just run through quickly, if I can, just to kind of give you a sense of the scope. Secretary Blinken, of course, is traveling to Cabo Verde, the Ivory Coast, Nigeria, and Angola this week. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Linda Thomas-Greenfield is visiting Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Sierra Leone. U.S. International Development Finance Corporation CEO Scott Nathan led a presidential delegation to attend the inauguration of the DRC President Tashaketi over the weekend. Apologize for that. EPA Administrator Reagan is in Mozambique and Ghana, sharing solutions and building partnerships on a range of environmental priorities. USAID Deputy Administrator Coleman is traveling to Maputo and the central and northern regions of Mozambique. And the CDC's Principal Deputy Director Nirav Shah is visiting the Sahel and West Africa to discuss our health partnerships. And of course, Jake Sullivan, our National Security Advisor, spoke with his Kenyan counterpart earlier this week. That's a lot of activity just this week across the continent. And there's just the start of what we think will be a very busy 2024. We're looking forward to deepening and those relationships and improving on that coordination. Now, before I get to your questions, I do want to correct something that I said yesterday. I got asked about another meeting with our Mexican partners and whether there was something on the schedule, and I said that I wasn't aware that there was anything on the schedule. But if I had done my homework, I would have been able to answer that question better. At the conclusion of the last U.S.-Mexico Ministerial and Migration on the 19th of January, we did say in our readout that we would continue our strong cooperation on migration on the margins of the trilateral fentanyl committee meeting in Mexico City in early February. And so we'll have more to share soon on that, but I was incorrect. There was actually something on the schedule, and it's in early February.
One person missing from your travel announcement with Africa, President Biden. Is he going to go to Africa this year? He has said he's going to go.
I have nothing to announce with respect to presidential travel.
Okay, and one more thing. Also, the Russia say that Ukraine shot down a military transport craft carrying Ukrainian POWs. Does the U.S. have any information on that?
No, we don't. We've seen the reports, but we're not in a position to confirm them. We're obviously doing the best we can to try to get more clarity and more information on it, but I don't have anything more for you right now.